Hello, and today I'll be demonstrating how to configure two Cisco IP phones to work together for a Reeves skill exam. My name is Adrian, and I am doing a voiceover of the configuration I previously did not too long ago. So to start, we are making a router directory. And we also did sudo apt install dynagen dynamips, which essentially allows us to configure the routers. And here you can see I also have the bin file, the C7200, which is what we're going to use to configure our routers. And for the configurations themselves, I have a script here I made. So here I assigned tap1 to F00 for R1 and tap2 for router 2. And here's the image we're using, C7200. Okay, so now we're running dynamips. And then dynagen. Okay, and now here we can start R1, but I misspelled it, so R1, and then start R2. And in order to connect to our router, we were going to telnet into it. So we use localhost 2521, which was assigned to R1, and localhost 2522 for R2. Okay, so looking at our diagram that I made here, I assigned the IP address 192.168.5.2 as my A number, ends with 2. And then we did the same thing, but we added 1 for R2. So here we're configuring the interface, fast Ethernet 00, 192.168.5.2/24. And we no shut, so the interface is up. And here we are bringing the interface tap1 up. And we repeat the same for tap2. Okay, and here we assign the IP address of tap2 of R2 192.168.5.3/24. And now we're also bringing up that interface here so that the routers can communicate between. Okay, and here I just go on my Windows VM and ensure I have connectivity by pinging the routers. So here I'm on my VM2, ping in R2, and there we go. We got connectivity. Okay, and here I changed the TFTP servers for Cisco Phone 1 to the IP address of R1 here, so 192.168.5.2. Okay, so here I'm on R1, and to configure Cisco Phone 1, I use telephony service. And I believe here I'm just troubleshooting a bit, so that's why I'm thinking. Okay, so now here I configure the IP address of R1, which is 192.168.5.2. Okay, and here I assign the system message, which I'm just going to call my name, Adrian, skill exam, and 1. Yeah, R1. Okay, and here I believe I was troubleshooting a bit. Okay, so I had to create these CNF files, and then once I did that, Cisco Phone 1 registered. And here is a MAC address of there. Okay, so here I am assigning button 2 with the number 7882. And here I'm assigning the MAC address of the phone, which I added SEP, which I shouldn't have, so that took me a second to troubleshoot. There you go. I found out a few seconds later that I had to remove that. And then I just typed in restart after that. But of course I assigned it to button 2. So yeah, ePhone 1 and then button 2. And once I restarted, I received the number 7882 at button 2. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so yeah, now I pretty much repeat the process for R2, phone 2. And there we go, we configure the MAC address for the phone 2. And here we're assigning 7982 for button number 2 as well. There we go, and then I restart. And the one thing I forgot to do was actually change the time, so the time has remained the same. And here I test if we can call or not, but obviously we can't because I don't have dial peer set up. So to set up dial peers, we're essentially assigning, we have to assign a destination pattern, which in this case would be 7. Let's say, for example, you had a number 5, for example, 5000. You can use these dots here to specify any number. So it could be, 5050. It'd just be 5 dot dot dot, right? Or it'd be like 5500, right? It'd be 5 dot dot dot. But in this case, we're using 7, so I'm using 7 dot dot dot. And for R2, I'm assigning the session target of R1. So we're using the IPv4 address 192.168.5.2, as we're pretty much telling the phone, hey, if you want to communicate with this phone, you're gonna have to use our R1's IP address, right? So yeah, that's what I do here. And then here you can see that it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because this phone might be able to know how to communicate with this phone, but this phone can't communicate with that phone, right? So you pretty much repeat the same thing on the opposite phone. So on R1 here. Okay, and again, we're using destination pattern 7 dot dot dot, as this one has 7982. But let's say, for example, you just wanted to call this number 7982, you could just type in 7982, and that's pretty much the only number you can call. And here I'm on R1, so I'm assigning the IP address of R2 192.168.5.3. And then here we go. You can see I'm testing it now. And there we go. It's receiving the call. Yeah, and that's pretty much the extent of the little skill exam project I had. Thanks for watching.